News Edge at 11 starts now.
Breaking news right now. Search and rescue efforts underway in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where a tornado tore through a neighborhood tonight. Rescue teams are on the scene, and police say several people are trapped in their homes in Jefferson County. Good evening to you. I'm Sine Simpson, in tonight for Tom Haines. First, a twister, and now dangerous flooding in Alabama. Birmingham police using boats to rescue stranded drivers as that rain continues to pour. This comes after just hours after a reported tornado touched down in a neighborhood outside of Birmingham. A storm victim described that frantic scene as firefighters rescued her neighbor.
She was pinned under the whole front part of the porch. Wow. And they were trying to pull her out. And finally, I guess the fire department came and we were able to get her out safety. Wow.
Well, there are no immediate reports of any deaths or injuries there. Now, that same storm system is still moving through North Georgia right now, so let's send it over to Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Rich Johnson for the very latest tonight.
Well, as we look at that storm system coming in from Alabama, we're not looking for the severe weather in the sense of tornadoes, hail, anything like that. But we have the heavy rain that has moved back in fact, over to the northwest side of the perimeter. Heavy rain coming back over toward the city of Atlanta. Over to Birmingham, where they saw a rough day today with that tornado touchdown. There was also a tornado over toward the Tuscaloosa area to the north. Just minor damage was the initial report from that system. As we look closer in toward the area, we're looking at some of these heavier showers over toward the northwest side of town here. East Cobb heading over toward North Fulton. That's where the heaviest of the rain is now just starting to move through. You can see some of the reds over toward Marietta. We'll be heading over to Roswell as well as Sandy Springs a little bit within the next 15 minutes to about a half an hour. So heavy downpours still on the way. Flash flood watch issued by the National Weather Service still in effect until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Main impacts will be for the threat of flooded roadways. So if you must be out this evening, make sure you're using extra care on the roadways, especially if you're heading off to the west or northwest side of the state. It has been raining a large portion of the day today from near Chattanooga all the way down to areas around Rome and over to around Canton. Rainfall update today, and I think we'll be adding to this because it has rained over at the airport since this report came in. We'll be looking at over 9 inches of rain for this month. The record way back in 1931 when we had about over 12 inches of rainfall. Hopefully we won't quite make it to that. As we check the latest current conditions around the area, we're looking at temperatures which actually have still dropped. The latest temperature just came in. I saw 64 degrees. That means the low actually occurring right now. We had 65 this morning. That was 30 degrees above average. Our high today is 75. Warmest Christmas day on record here in Atlanta. 75 was over 20 degrees above average. We'll have much more on your Fox 5 forecast, and I'll have another look at the radar coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, Rich. Well, those warm temperatures did bring a few problems. Check out this downed tree. It brought down a power line on Jaylette Road earlier tonight in College Park. The good news is that repair crews are almost finished bringing that power back. This was the scene earlier on Jaylette Road as the crews used chainsaws trying to cut through the downed tree. The roadway is now back open to traffic. And power in some areas is being restored. A Georgia power outage map shows less than 50 customers are without power at this point. A worker told us that all power should be restored within the next 2 to 3 hours. It's a holiday that some Buckhead residents along Peachtree Creek will not soon forget. Flooding yesterday forced them to evacuate after Peachtree Creek rose well over its banks. Fox 5's Claire Sims live off of Northside Drive tonight. And Claire, what's it looking like out there right now?
Well, Sine, the skies have really just opened up again in the last few minutes, and this water that's falling from the sky right now really has nowhere to go once it lands on the ground. Take a look. You can see there's just really sort of puddles forming here because the ground is already completely saturated. This was the big problem that residents here experienced yesterday as the creek started to overflow its banks. So take a look at this video from yesterday. Now, Atlanta Fire Rescue Department, their swift water rescue crews actually had to to evacuate people from 2 homes here on Woodward Way yesterday as those waters were rising. And they said there were about 8 homes that were really in the most danger as that creek was starting to rise yesterday. But a lot of those residents decided to sort of stay put, wait it out, stay in their homes, and just sort of monitor the situation. But Atlanta Fire Rescue, they had those swift water rescue teams here on scene just to make sure that they were here in case anyone needed to get out of their homes or in case they needed to get to an emergency in one of those homes as this situation went on. But of course, that water earlier tonight, it was much lower, but as you're seeing right now, it is absolutely pouring, and it's probably just a matter of time before that creek level starts rising again. Hopefully, it doesn't get quite to the levels that it did yesterday. Reporting live in Buckhead, Claire Sims, Fox 5 News.
Okay, thank you so much, Claire. Well, we want you to check out these pictures. This is from an incredible water rescue in Cherokee County. An off-duty firefighter and 3 men pulled an 87-year-old woman from her submerged car yesterday. We're told the woman's car somehow left the highway and then ended up in that flooded creek. A 35-foot extension ladder was used to reach the driver. Now, understandably, she was shaken, but she was not injured. And get this, she was on her way to work at the time of the accident, and she still went into her job. A Jasper family spending Christmas in a hotel after a lightning strike hit just a few feet away from where their young grandchild was sleeping. Now, they say the lightning blew out the electricity in the house, and now they're unable to stay there. Fox 5's Nathalie Pozo has more for us from Jasper tonight.
Well, the Cheney family who live in this Jasper neighborhood say they heard a loud noise Christmas Eve morning, and when they saw smoke, they grabbed their family and ran out of the house.
The house, like I had stated, could have easily burned.
Lisa Cheney says she got up to let her cat out, and that's when the lightning struck, just 3 feet away from where her granddaughter was sleeping.
The force was so great, it blew up the heat register vents in the floor, knocked things over in the curio cabinet, also peeled some of the sheetrock.
Cheney says when she saw smoke, she yelled for her husband and son, and they grabbed their family and rushed outside. You can see where the force of the lightning blew out this socket cover, and take a look at this light post. The concrete that was holding it up completely busted open. Cheney says the force even created what was a 2-foot trench before the rain started up again. And the Cheney family tells me they are just grateful no one was hurt. In Jasper, Nathalie Pozo, Fox 5 News.
Thank you, Nathalie. As always, you can get the latest forecast, radar, and weather alerts around the clock with our Fox 5 Storm Team app. To download it, just go to fox5atlanta.com and look under the weather tab. A holiday tradition lives on in Atlanta, how local volunteers spent the day helping others. Plus, patients get a big dose of holiday cheer, a touching Christmas surprise at a local cancer center. That's straight ahead.